It is a fall morning. As you can see today, it is October 26th. The trees, all the aspen trees have fully lost all their leaves, and that willow back there, look at that. Still green and ready to go. Man, that tree is crazy. All the willows hold their leaves like crazy. But anyway, we've had some severe frost since the last yard tour I made, and my God, it took all those leaves off all those aspens. I don't think they were like that before. So you can see fall is here. Almost actually winter's almost here. Today though it's gonna be 61, so quite nice. But the tree back there has fully lost all of its leaves. But yeah, we've had some cold mornings. We've had mornings down 20 or 17 degrees. So I mean, we've had some mornings. So let's get a look at the yard. Over here, let's start off in the frost morning shade area still. As you can see, it's still quite frosted there. This bush, which always gets the coldest weather, you can see some crisping on the ends of the leaves. And just the leaves looking very, very fall colored. But this one, there's not too much to show. It's just kind of looking dried and ready to end the year, but it's still holding on to them leaves. This one here, you can see quite a bit of burning on this side of the plant from all that morning cold. On not the inside, but the outside leaves. You can see how they're all just curled and they all just crisp because they're just dried and they're cold and kind of just ready to end the year. It's been signaled to it. This one here is the same way, and this one in the end is a little better. So it's like they're two different plants, but those are kind of how these look at this part of the year. As you can see, it's crazy. Kind of drying up and ready for the winter there. All the conifers obviously have not even grayed yet. That won't happen until like late November, early December, and they really like peak in March. And speaking of conifers, these these cedars looking pretty good, amazing. I mean, very good. And here, these plants that we're suckering all over the place that have been letting grow up are turning quite nicely yellow. Look at them. Got that fence holding them up so the dogs can't destroy them. And yeah, so those look quite nice. Over here now, see, we cleaned up all the daylilies. So these were just ready to go for the end of the year. So yeah, they look pretty nice being cleaned up. Just it refreshes the area up a lot. And a lot of the things with these are, yeah, they get real messy come spring, so you got to make sure they're cleaned up. Over here now, the junipers obviously are looking great. We'll get to those though. Over here is the sedum. Now, we made videos on this earlier in the year, how it's looked throughout the year, so this is a good update for it with those shorts I made. You can see if you look into the plant now, you can see all the stems and all the leaves falling off all the stems. And what happens with this is in these cold mornings we get, and I only felt it at a morning that was 28 and the leaves were solid. Imagine that morning that was 17. It freezes the leaves of the sedum solid because they're full of water. So if I take a leaf off of the sedum tree and you just kind of like go like this with it, you can see all the water, the wetness that sprays out. More than a typical leaf. That's why when these get cold, they literally freeze solid. The plant freezes solid because it's one of those, the plants that hold so much water. It's like a succulent almost type thing. So yeah, that's how that looks. You can see all the fleshy stems inside there too. So the sedum is definitely ready to end the year off there. And the blooms though, they still have some color, which is quite nice on the sedum there. But they are doling out and ready for, they're not in peak like in those shorts I made. And they're ready for fall as well. This sedum over here made it this year. It lasted. It did get a little destroyed when I took the hose out. But other than that, the sedum actually did last as we didn't destroy it with the hose. So that was kind of a nice thing this year. This big juniper in the middle here, we're gonna have to watch on it. As I saved it by doing extensive pruning on it. It looks really nice right now, and it's producing more growth from the, he's standing in the fountain, look at him. And it actually produced more growth from the bottom here in sections. So you can see quite nice growth there. But what generally this one likes to do is die back in the fall. After that cold December, it kind of screwed it up. So we'll just see how it goes this fall, and I'll make sure to make updates on it and kind of update you guys through how that bush is doing, because I don't want it to die. But man, it is a nice one right in front of that window there. And it used to be full, but I had to cut it back because the whole thing died, and I just left it, seen what parts were going to be green, and then cut out all the rest. At one point, the whole thing was dead, and the rest didn't come back, so I just cut it all out. But anyway, these junipers are doing great. You get your natural little holes, but that's been there for years. This one filled in quite nice after we because they were sticking too far out, and that's why with these junipers, you have to ensure that you cut them back frequently, as if you don't, they won't grow back from the cut points very easy, and it'll leave you with dead. Luckily, however, this one did, and it is producing more growth at that sidewalk area there, which looks quite nice. If we look in there, we can see that it's still filling in, but it looks quite nice. And I'll prune these back next fall along with the cedars again. So just kind of do them 2-year prunings. But yeah, the junipers all look real nice at this point of year, but it's come fall and come spring where they look kind of bad until the summer comes. They continue to have color all year, but they get pretty dull, even duller than like the spruce trees and all that stuff. But these, on the other hand, do not get very dull. These are Mugo pines, and these are some of the best plants. This one I want to let grow now that we have no plant in the middle. As we 99% sure this is dead, I'll probably plant the fountain over it. But I think that fountain's got like a little hole in the bottom where I can just put it over the bush. But we'll have to see how that'll work, because we'll just see if we can give this, the root system had some growth this year, so we'll see if it can push anything out of that base. But anyway, yeah, these Mugo pines are just one of the best plants, and I think I'll put this center thing over it because it's just gonna look much nicer if that plant does die. However, we're gonna give it a chance to come back with this, so we will just see what it does there. But it looks quite different having that gone. I mean, the fountain could definitely exchange it and like match this, but yeah, but that Mugo pine I really like. It's like off the ground and it just like sticks out. It's a really nice plant. But that one over there is nice too, and I think I could let that one grow a little bit to, because now there's nothing in the middle, so I think we could definitely do that. These here, these potentillas are looking bad too. I think they need another rejuvenational prune. This one's huge, the base, and it's never got pruned enough. The whole thing is basically just bush, so I think that's what they all need. I'm just scared to do it until it's too late type thing, but because they just get snaggly. Especially with these bushes, they were not taken care of at all until recently, and it's kind of too late. But that one is now to the ground, so we'll see how that one responds, and if that one responds good, we'll take those ones with them. But yeah. But anyway, the Mugo pines, those are the type bushes to get, because they're always just there. Anyway, these dogwoods as well are nice bushes. The potentillas are great bushes, but they're just getting a little crazy, and that one's not looking great either this year. Nor's, the potentillas didn't do as great this year. This one did pretty good, but anyway, these dogwoods here, these are looking great. This one produces more growth than this one because this one's a smaller plant, but man, did that one produce some growth. This one did not produce as much growth this year, just because it's just how we didn't have a drip on a lot of these things, but it's still a very healthy plant, as you can see, the nice vibrant stems. But this one over here, look at all the growth it produced. And you can see over here, the cold fountain, when it was on, actually created this one to lose leaves on this end faster than the rest of the plant. So that's why you're seeing that, because the frost actually damaged these, or not damaged, but made these limbs lose more leaves quicker. So kind of interesting there for these plants, how they worked. Might actually leave them and just see what they do next spring. Just if we leave them big, as the stems should be healthy stems, but we'll just have to kind of see if we clean them up and leave them a little taller and just see what happens with the plants this year. These ones I want to see if they get a little bigger theme next year, maybe. Might look quite nice on them. But yeah, we'll get them all cleaned up and kind of take some of the older stems and see what we can do with them. So yeah, these ones are definitely ready for the end of the year, but they're holding on to them leaves as well. Over here, you can see we still got some stems with green leaves. Looks like it's in a growing season on some of them, so it's like this side that's more damaged, and that side's probably protected by the building. But yeah, it's just these ones are doing their own thing. But these two are my favorite plants in the yard, so we're gonna clean them up and leave them a little taller and just see how they do, because they're definitely some of my favorite plants. The potentillas too are great when they're working, but This here is another juniper. We're letting it grow a little more, actually. We might let that grow 3 years before doing a lighter prune on it. It's because we want that to be a little bigger, because it's a nice little section, especially if we have to do something with the potentillas. Over here, this one got damaged too because we were doing stuff with the sprinkler here, and it pulled back. Might cut it back and give it a fresh start though. But these ones here did great. Look at these. They're just getting ready for the end of the season now, so it's hard to tell, but they did really good. They grew nicely. So we'll give them a nice cut back too. And yeah, that's mostly pretty much all the plants. The main thing is in this backyard where we had to make some changes, and the loss of drip actually might have cost us a couple of plants, but those things can always be readjusted and moved around. But yeah, everything looks quite nice. I'm just interested to see, you know, what type of stuff we can do with these over here. Like, I want these to grow and be nice, quite nice things. So that'll be really nice. The cedars are some of my favorite trees in the world. I love those trees. But these main things with these are getting frost damaged at this point of year. As we get into these colder temps, we're supposed to be getting even colder, like 14 degrees come up here on Tuesday. And right today it's Saturday the 26th. So let's see, yeah, Saturday the 26th. So definitely look at that plant. Just look at that. If we go down and look at it from the ground, man, nothing like that. Seriously. But yeah, we're supposed to get some cold temps and some wind tomorrow, which will knock off any remaining singular leaves that might be on some of them aspens. And but the willow, I'm sure it'll hold on to the leaves until November this year. Last year it didn't because of the snow we got, but we didn't. Yesterday, matter of fact, last year we had about 7 inches of snow. It was one of the first videos I recorded on this channel. If you go back and look at that, it's like one of my first, I think it's my first short on this channel. It was just yesterday, last year. So 366 days ago I filmed that video. Pretty crazy that this year is actually quite nice on the day that it snowed intensely and was very cold last year and ended the growing season abruptly. But according to normal terms, our growing season is over, even if there is leaves on those trees like that willow over there, because the temperatures we got of that 15 in the morning was just enough to do that abruptly end the growing season, especially with the leaves that had so much frost on them that the ends were like snow crystals. I mean, it was crazy. It was a sight. These bushes looked like they were covered with snow that morning. I uploaded that too. That's in my shorts as well. Severely cold morning is what it's called. But yeah, and I showed this bush how it was just damaged these leaves, and that's what actually resulted in most of the frost damage on these shrubs, was that morning. And the previous morning just a few days ago where it was 17, and then the next morning was 18. So we're definitely into that fall temp. But it's nice today. I'm actually gonna head out for a bike ride later today. It's so nice. So this weather is crazy around these parts, but yeah. So that is an update on the plants and the trees across the street, really. And I'll make a video of that maybe later today, probably tomorrow, of how those trees are looking. But you can kind of see them from here. So anyway, see you guys in the next one.